Hello, I'm Hrvoje from Zagreb and I'm a member of OpenStreetMap Croatia community. Closer. So, here. He hears it okay. So I'm Hrvoje from Croatia, from Zagreb, member of OpenStreetMap community for Croatia, member of Croatian Linux user group, and for a year now, member of OpenStreetMap Foundation. I'm here to talk about volunteer geographic information and OpenStreetMap. Well, with the development of modern technologies like cheap GPS devices, chips and stuff like that, with high quality digital cameras and mobile phones, we have a all-in-one device that we can use to collect geographical informations. And of course, with the development of mobile broadband, you can do it instantaneously. Well, examples, there are Wikimapia, OpenStreetMap, Google Map Maker, Nokia Maps Maker and stuff like that, all in the effort of gathering information to create better maps. Well, one of my first you can say it volunteered VGI, let's shorten it, projects was participation in Panoramio. I guess a lot of you know about Panoramio, Google service. You take photos, upload them, and they appear on the position. So from that, you can collect geographical information about that position. Is there a road, is there a house, and stuff like that. And it's part of Google services, so its use is restricted. It's visible in browsers and Google Earth. But it looks like this. This is the part of my grandmother's village I took some pictures of. Well, there is an open source, crowdsourced alternative, Mapillary. They started in January this year, and in May they had about 500,000 pictures. In June they had 1 million pictures, and now they are at 3.25 million pictures. So their growth is exponential. When did it start to grow exponentially? When they changed the license to the CC by SA license, then the OpenStreetMap community said, okay, your license allows us to use those photos for our purposes, we'll start mapping. And I started also, used my old phone, put a cyanogen mode on it so I can use it because they need Android 4 point something. And I rooted it, flashed it, and it started working nice. And in one weekend, I traveled 700 kilometers and collected 17 gigabytes of photos. It's about 20,000 photos. Uploaded it, and you can see the regions. You can use the pictures for free and freely. So, as I mentioned, the growth was exponential because of the OpenStreetMappers, and they participated in OpenStreetMap movement because they have direct options to edit the data from their web page. What I wanted to say. The nice thing is that they have algorithms to match the photos. So when you travel a few times the same route, they match the photos so you have a wider area to see. Once you go with the camera straight, second with the camera to the right, third with the camera to the left, and then when you zoom out, you have something like panorama view. It's not Google Street View where you have a 360 degrees, but it's moving along and it's free. This is the map of Novi Sad. As you can see, there are few routes, mostly from me and Miloš. You place it. You can do it in few modes. You can use it on a bike. You can use it by hands, or you can use it in a car. Here is Novi Sad University campus. I did that by walking, and the rest is done by sticking a cell phone on, how do you call it? That suck up cup when you place a phone in it. I forgot the phone holder on the windshield. Start record, set it to 1 second or 2 seconds interval, and take pictures and drive. This is what I said. There are a few center photos, one photo to the right and one photo to the left. And when you zoom out, you have something like panorama. And when you have more photos, you have more of a panorama, and it's free to use. The other stuff where you can gather volunteered information is social networks: Foursquare, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, etc., etc. Why location sharing? People visit some places and tag, I was here with them, and take a picture. Later, you can process those pictures and get information about those locations from those photos. So you tag location and you tag photo, and there's an information. I'm talking here about volunteered information. That the stuff that NSA and Google and other people do, gather information without your permission, that's other stuff. This is freely submitted information. There was also talk about automatic parsing of location-based content. When you hashtag something on Twitter and send a photo, and also photo is geotagged, you can process all the hashtags and gather all the photos, all the location info, and create hotspots and stuff like that to know what's going on. And the negative side, as you can see, this is photo from somewhere in Africa, where they begged people not to geotag their photos because of the poachers. You take a photo, it's geotagged, you upload it on the net, somebody who is interested in black rhino and elephants and something like that, they know where the photos were taken, where the migration paths of the animals which are in danger, and they come and shoot them. So that's the negative side of this is one of the negative sides, but I have this picture, so I use it. There's another principle. There's another stuff you can do. This is suhozid, translated stone drywall. This is a project from my colleague in University of Zagreb. They use it to collect all the data about old walls, old buildings, anything that is done with stone drywall. And it looks like this. You can collect the data, you can submit the data, and get the information about cultural heritage with old stonemason techniques. And you can also apply pictures and stuff like that. Okay, this is part of presentation. There in Zagreb, there is a portal called My Zagreb, ili Moj Zagreb. It is, how do you call it? Public services created it, so they can gather information about where are the holes on the roads, where is the broken fire hydrant, anything like that. But there was a discussion on the net about the price of the project and the techniques used on it. It was closed source and used C.net or something like that. But it also requires registration that is necessary, and there are public services that reply on those reports. So you report there is a hole in the road, public service road maintenance, they go, check it out, fill it up, and report it as fixed. In what time, I don't know. They are not so fast. And it looks like this. Not so pretty site. Also, there is an open source alternative that uses Ushahidi deployment. It uses anonymous reports and it implement Open 311 standard. I heard about it. I didn't explore so much about it, but public services are not obligated to report to those reports, and this is how the site looks. You can click report. They have a complete copy of My Ulica street, My Ulica, but there is, for now, there is no cooperation, as far as I know. There is also Fix My Street project and organization. Just organization is My Society. I met a guy in Zagreb who is part of the team, and he talked about that. It's a similar principle. You report something that is wrong in your neighborhood, in your street, and you get people to react. There is also one of the other things is green cleanup, ili zelena čistka. It was a part of World Cleanup 2013 effort, where you went out and searched for illegal garbage dumps. So you have a map, you have types of garbage disposals, and you report everything that you find. You find a tire in the woods, you report it. You find a place where a garbage truck illegally dumped its waste, you report that. So in the effort there, as you can see in the background, there are a lot of reports. I can't find this site anymore. I think they switched, or maybe I didn't try too much, but maybe they switched it, or it was offline when I looked for it. But it was in 2013. But it made its purpose. This is a nice stuff. A colleague of mine started a project record camera ili uslike kameru. There is a growing number of security surveillance camera, traffic cameras and stuff like that, but there is no database to collect them all. So he came to the idea, let's take all the photos of all the cameras. And he started I don't have a web screenshot because I didn't have time to contact him to send me the link, but because it was a project in startup. But he got a lot of cameras on the record, and if they are recording us, so let's record them. I'll try to get more information for the later times, but it's a nice effort. Let's return the measure. Let's return with the same measure. One of the main things VGI is good for is humanitarian response. Maybe, I don't know if most of you know about the floods that happened in Southeast Europe this May. It was in Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, and it was large. There were few platforms. People in Serbia created Ushahidi deployment for reacting. There was no organized effort from the government in either countries to inform the people, to organize people. So it was all up to them. In Serbia, they created Poplava RS with Ushahidi deployment for reporting and with WordPress for other stuff. They had, this is summary, they had almost 3,000 reports. They had 1.5 million visitors in 1 month, and simultaneously 1,600 visitors on the site. The guys in Bosnia created Mape Poplava, also on Ushahidi, and they had 280 reports in first few days. I got the database dump from from the both sides, but people from Serbia kept updating me with new database dumps, so I could get all the data. But people in Bosnia, they were more busy, so I got only the first dump, nothing else. Also, there was Poplave EU deployment for, I think it was also for Bosnia, but they tried to gather all the region. And in Croatia, I tried to deploy Ushahidi, but they didn't want it. They didn't know how to. It was too much for them, so they only did WordPress. Never mind. They did something. What was the information gathering methods? Social networks, as I said, there were Twitter, Facebook, Google+, stuff like that, where people reported my grandparents are trapped in this city, in this street, in this building, somebody helped them, and there was a lot of them. And also radio amateurs. There we have one participant of the efforts. Thank you. I'll talk to you later in front of everybody, so you can fill in the gaps. So there were Ushahidi portals for both countries, and there was local knowledge for people there. They know the area. This is the version of Serbian deployment. Okay, I took a screenshot in the period they were migrating from the servers, and the guy who deployed it set up OpenStreetMap, but the guy who did the migration didn't know how to set up OpenStreetMap, so he set up Google. I took a screenshot in that moment, and they came back. They switched forward and back, and mainly it was on OpenStreetMap background, so the people can edit and report the locations. This is how it looks. I followed the portal those weeks, and it was a little scary to see people report my grandparents are in the attic of that building, there are infants here and stuff like that. It was sad to see. This was Bosnian deployment. These are those 280 reports and stuff like this. This is also information. You see it's flooded, you see dead animals. These are some of informations that were gathered on those portals. After the initial floods, a few weeks after that, after it settled, I used those database dumps, filtered the reports, and this is a heat map of the reports where there are floods, where there are damaged roads, buildings in bad shape and stuff like that, and you can see that there are a lot of reports. Let's see. Yeah, finally the guys in Croatia did a map, but they had to manually enter all the information. There was no automatic process, so you can enter it, but you had to send them the information. They had to process it and upload it, but they did something. After the initial start of those Ushahidi platforms, they were using OpenStreetMap maps as a background to report, but in some of those areas the maps were almost empty because nobody was from there and nobody had interest in drawing those areas. So in cooperation with humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, we started mapping action and humanitarian deployment, where we tried to gather all the people, not all the people, but people from all over the world to help map those affected areas. We had from various sources we got where are the areas that are infected, that are endangered, so to say, and created a task which had to be mapped. As you can see, it covered something like 13,000 square meters of Serbia, around 10 or 1,200 1,000 kilometers square in Bosnia and about 2,000 in Croatia that were affected. But we created a task that had 29,000 square kilometers we had to map. So people started mapping. There are some participants here. And people started to map. They had an area, they logged in to the OpenStreetMap to the task server. They selected a square. It was around kilometer by kilometer each square. No, sorry. No, it was 10 by 10 kilometers square. Something like that. It was, everybody had a large square to map, and people started mapping. Firstly, there were priority areas which had to be mapped first because there were flood waves coming to those cities. So it was dynamic, and a lot of work was done. How many did you do in one day? Around 4. Yeah. So people did 4 squares of around 10 kilometers, 10 square kilometers each square. So you mapped 40 square kilometers in one day. So there were no roads, there were no rivers, only major roads. After that you had a map which almost had buildings mapped, all the streets, all the creeks, all the waterways, all the bridges and stuff like that. And that's the power of the community. Matija, sorry, I'm Miroslav. Yeah, sorry. Would you mind coming here to say a few minute or two to say you were in the first line of the process of gathering information?
Hello, my name is Miroslav, nickname is Mili, and in Ham Radio I'm Yankee Tango 2 Charlie Quebec. In organization of Ham Radio, we have in every city one radio club, and every radio club have about 20 members. In bigger city, in radio clubs are about 100 members in radio club. So when flooding start, we have organized our HF on high frequency network and VHF and UHF networks. Main kako se kaže?
Reci.
Kako se zove?
Na naški reci.
Na UHF području se najviše odigravalo.
There was most traffic.
Most traffic is on UHF because we have linked repeaters network from north part of our country travel to south. About 30 repeaters are linked. So everybody with hand talk press the button, one repeater, everybody hears in all country what he have told. So we collect information from social networks, Facebook, Twitter, I think LinkedIn. We have also on email traffic, and all collected information we give to country service like police, mountain rescue service, military.
Followed Ushahidi, Poplave RS.
Yes.
They followed Poplave RS Ushahidi deployment with volunteer information also.
Yes, and share our information with them.
That's nice.
So now we have response in floods, snowstorms, and just now our work is to kako se kaže, spojiti se sa državnim službama. Connect with country service with emergency situations.
Yeah, it's just a second. What were your shifts in the first few days of the floods?
I collect information from shift was, I don't know, 12 hours, maybe 24 hours with my work.
People tried. Thank you. I also didn't know. How much they did. I just followed him on social networks and saw every time I connected to the network, I saw he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff. I meant, guy, when do you get some sleep? You wanted to ask something?
We collect information and we need. Okay. System was that who sending information, name, surname, location, time, and yes, what he have to told us, and we send to our center, and they are sorting what is primary, secondary, and other stuff to send that where we must to send that information. Is it for rescue crew or is it for food, water, baby? Yes, that. Okay. From our ham radio organization that we have about 30 people on Twitter, Facebook. For Twitter we have hashtags RMZO, Radio Amateurs, and Poplave, I think. And we are collecting their information and send to center where is sorting. So people in center know. Yes. That's it.
So this was one sort of volunteered geographic information. Those people who reported those stuff were really volunteers and didn't report it to the 911, 112 and those stuff, but to volunteers. From volunteers to volunteers who managed to organize better than official people. So also they also used those portals that had people report stuff over the net. So I'm doing OpenStreetMap since 2009. I know spatial data. I don't know local areas. I don't know where it is flooded, where the roads are broken. So I had people tell me where are the troubles, and we started mapping. So I can at least help in that way. They will have all the maps for later. That's the way I could help in that area. Also, the colleague of mine is doing an PhD? Yeah. And he's analyzing spatial data from crowdsource. And it's interesting, not so interesting in the slide, but when you know more information. We have authoritative data like real estate cadastre, like public services, like roads. All the administrative authorities have all own sets of data. And the colleague did a PhD comparing those data to crowdsourced data, and he came to a conclusion that with time the data gets more and more accurate and gets more and more information and has more information to store than the authority data. When you take a look at it, when you look at OpenStreetMap, it has a complete history, it has an author, it has every change from the start to the current date. And when you look, I'm going to, how do you say, talk bad about my field of work, because when you look at real estate cadastre and stuff like that, where they have official records, this is your parcel, this is your house, this is your piece of land, you don't know anything about the person who measured that, who did that. When you look at OpenStreetMap, you have a record, who drew it, who edited it, when, and you have a comment why and stuff like that. From which source? Is it GPS data? Is it satellite imagery? Is it public imagery? Is it local knowledge? Everything like that. And you can enter more information in it than in official records. About the history. In Croatia, we have one point that has history that has 270, 280 revisions. When you look at it, so somebody edited the same point over 200 times, and I found out why. Because it's the point on the map which represent the Republic of Croatia. So every time somebody added their own language for Croatia, they edited the point. So we have the whole complete history. That's the additional data that is not stored in official and proprietary data. There are new measurements for quality data, quality of data. Let's say you want to get the data, but I want to filter all the buildings that are which have accuracy of plus minus 10 meters. You can get also that data. You can filter out the data, you can do data analysis and stuff like that. There are also integration with existing standards, OGC and stuff like that, and integration with authoritative data, which exists today, and you can do comparisons. In UK, I think they are working together with a few public services about bus lines and stuff like that, where they can edit, people in OpenStreetMap get official data, look at it, edit it, and return it back, and of course, have it in OpenStreetMap, so that there is a cooperation. So let me see, okay, no. Wait a minute. This is one part of the presentation. If you have questions about this part, ask now. In a minute or so, I'll switch to a real-time demonstration and more examples of the data. So about this part, any questions? Okay. And now about OpenStreetMap. More. Does anybody here, who knows about OpenStreetMap here? Ooh, nice to hear. Who uses it? Who contributes? Nice, yeah. Few people. Better than the last, better than in the last conference. So, OpenStreetMap. You know how it started. I don't have to say that. But did you know that that this map is not everything? There is a lot more. So you have a map, you have a vector data, you have a vector data in real time you can use. Do you know it has a 3D option? Well, let's load it and look at Novi Sad. We are, okay, my PC is a little slow. Okay, you can see it loading, and this information is from few seconds to a day or so old. So you edit a height of a building, you edit building shape, you can get it in 3D. Okay. Usually here is a rotation pen and stuff like that, but This laptop is 7 or 8 years old, so I use it for static presentations. This is too much for him. Sorry. No. So this is OpenWebGL. It sends the data to the browser. Browser renders it on home PC. This runs like a well-oiled machine, and we have something bad. Let's shut it down. It works. Trust me, it works. Not on this machine. This is another example of 3D, 2.5D, if you want to say. When you zoom in, I need to find a tall building. Okay, slow. And it's still slow. I know here are some tall buildings. Just let me zoom in. Why I said 2.5D? Because when you pan left and right, you see the buildings moving, like in a real view from. Nice stuff. And the data is also a few seconds, minutes, hours old. The stuff I said about mapillary. Whoa, people are mapping more and more. Let me zoom into the stuff I said about getting no. Wrong point. You see a track point on the side, but when okay, wrong position. Okay, that's what I said. You zoom out and you get a picture overlap and you see something like a panoramic view. Not completely, but if you travel 10 times in the same route and collect the data, and on the road back you also do that, you can almost get 360, almost. But what? Yes, this is crowdsource. Because they have, let's go. I asked them to come to Balkan, to conference, but they said they're busy in this period. They asked me, can you talk about it for a second? Okay, I'll talk about it for a few seconds. So it's crowdsourced street level photos. There is Android. There is an app for Android, for iPhone, for Microsoft OS, and I don't know how it's called. There is an app. You start it. It starts GPS. You have to have accuracy under 15 meters for it to start recording, and those are questionable photos. But those under 10 meters are accepted with no trouble. So you go collect pictures. You upload. There is each picture has unique UID, and each sequence has unique UID. So you get sequence and sequenced photos. Each photo has its ID. From the sequence, you can get the orientation from the photo, the time, the accuracy, the precision, and stuff like that. It is in. If you open the EXIF tag, you can see each picture has its own data, and they get the data, position the pictures, and later they use picture correlation to find corresponding points in pictures. Yeah. So first you have to have it correctly positioned, orientated, so they can process it further. You upload the pictures. It's instantaneously in that second. It's on its place, but in a day or two it gets processed, so it has reference points with other pictures. Okay, as I said, they started this year, exponential growth, it's amazing. This is the map, oh, is it? What? They changed the site in the last month. I didn't look at it in the last month. Yeah. There is explanation how it works. I won't bother you with that. You like, and with OpenStreetMap you can use the data and do whatever you want with it. If you obey the license. Licenses, you have to say it's OpenStreetMap data. Great. We had some people wanting, we want to have a classic bike and hike map for our site. Okay, we can make it, or you can use existing. There is existing. I didn't find it on the site. Yes, there is only few. Okay. So, there was a navigation, but I forgot it was. The Firefox stayed in the wrong resolution. Sorry. There is only a certain set of layers on the main site, and people thought, that's all it is. And then I have to explain them. Then, no, there are a lot of things. Let's say Open Love Map. Germans did it. Okay, load. This is bordel. This is sex shop. This is strip club. What is this? What is this? Condom automat. That's new. I sent a friend a link to the wiki. There is a link on the OpenStreetMap Wikipedia with all the map features you can map. And I said to him, look at this perversion. You can draw. You can take anything you want. And in half an hour, he returns, it's really, you can map anything. And he sent me a link to a swing club and FKK beach. And okay, I didn't know about that. Why did you look at it? Why did you search for it? It was funny. So I learn every day about the project, what can be done. So I'm in this for more than 5 years, and every day I learn something new. Okay, this is Open Love Map, Open Fire Map. The guys did it for Olympics in Russia. Okay, I zoomed too much. Okay, it's somewhere like here. Yay. Okay. So wait a second. When you zoom in, you have a location of each fire hydrant with its code, specification, and stuff like that. So there is also how you can do it. I don't have I don't know the name of the site, but in the Winter Olympics there was a stuff about Russia. They didn't like gays and stuff like that, homosexuality, and the guys did OpenStreetMap based map with 3D model where you had each contour in different color representing the gay flag. And they did it for Russia, and it was a kind of provocation. I can try to find it. OSM. Okay, I type like a hippo. No. I can't find it right now. What did I do? Wrong button. Open. This is a what? Okay, open what? This is new to me. No, it's down. I don't know what they did. Okay, I'll try to explain it. When you see OpenStreetMap is based on TMS, tile mapping service, and where each images you have images of 256 pixels each, and Open Whatever Map uses a random algorithm to load each square from a different source. So you can see how many sources there are. And when you zoom in, zoom out, you get a crazy map. You follow the road and it switches from black and white to 3D to a standard mapnik to open cycle map to open topo map. There's a lot of stuff. It's cool to show, but it doesn't work. Why? Open topo map. So, example of a topographic map. People are trying to, people who are going on a hikes and stuff like that, they ask, can we get a map of the mountains and stuff like that? The way we used it, like in topographic maps, one to 25,000. Yeah, you can get that. You can get this map online, and you can also get it offline. So, yeah. You can set it as a background in a few applications, and you can cache it. So you have a cache in the background. You can use it online. Open Topo. I don't know if you can't download. I want this region to take it with me. But there are few mobile phone applications that allow you to download vector maps. Yeah, this will be how do you say, reclame. This will be a commercial for one app. It has a paid version, but it's open source, and you can use the code and you can compile it yourself, or you can download the nightly version, which is full version, and you can get it from F-Droid, which is open source, and you can. There are a lot of sources where you can get it. I use OSM and. I participated in the development, but in spatial part of the development. I let them do the programming. I help them with areas to download and stuff like that, and to generate maps and stuff like that. You get the app, download it. Wait a second. OSM on. You search for OSM and nightly build, and let's see if my network connection works. And you get OSM and nightly APK, download it and start it. It's free, but it's not official from Google Play, but it works. And you are a beta tester for application, so if you get something that doesn't work, you can report it. Your app doesn't work, and their site doesn't work. I use it everywhere where you travel. You can download regions. They regenerate every 10 days. So every 10 days you have a new map. Anything that is entered in OpenStreetMap in a period of 10 days is on that map. I use it for not so much navigation, but for editing. There is you have to activate the plugin OSM editing, and then you can directly enter points from your mobile phone to the map. And but you can't see them on the map until you get the update in those 10 days. But you can also mark bugs. Pardon, it's not bugs anymore. It's OpenStreetMap notes. So you edit. Is it the network? It's the network. Okay. No, yeah. Okay. I was trying so hard that. Stop leeching torrents. Okay. I needed network for some extra stuff, but now they won't let me. Aha. Okay. Any more questions? I can't show anything more because I need connection to the internet. But okay, I can show you on the phone later how it looks. If you get, there is a plugin for OSM1 which you have to pay, and then you have, you can on your phone you can download contours and you have a 3D map. The normal version only has a 2D map, but with that paid plugin, if you want, you don't have to pay. You can get 3D views and you see shading and contours, and it's fun. But that piece of software saved me when we were in England, because a friend of mine went to a neighboring country. What? Woohoo! Let's see. Yay! Nightly APK, and it works on your phone. You just have to disable safe application or something like that, and F-Droid version is done by whole another crew. The F-Droid. Yeah, I think this one also has a tilt, because only on OSM, on Google Play, you have a versions 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. Nightly has tilt. Nightly also has tilt, and F-Droid also has tilt. I think so. F-Droid, the difference between this and F-Droid, this is done by the OSM1 crew, regenerated daily, nightly. And F-Droid, someone who decided to port it, not to port it, to compile it. It is distributed as he gets time to download the new source code, compile it, and upload it to F-Droid. Nightly is newer, but maybe buggier. The version of F-Droid, I think it uses. I think that F-Droid uses stable versions, not nightly versions. I think it's stuff like that. I used the versions on F-Droid. I used this. I tested free version. I tested. It works the same. Yeah. The friend went to neighboring country, only 10 kilometers across the border. He lost his home network, and he connected to the local network. He had OSM, but he didn't download the country. I said him the day before. I installed him Croatian. I installed him the application and said, if you ever go to another country, download the country. Oh yeah, I will do. He went outside. I don't know how to get there. I have that application. I don't have the map. I'll use. He'll enable data roaming. He'll use Google Maps and data roaming. I think he had. He used it for a few minutes, and he got 120 euros. And his wife had a higher limit, and she got around 250 euros. So he learned, don't use data roaming. That was before the new data roaming stuff and something like that, but this helps. Okay. So, what, 8? I saw somebody did 8 bit. And there is another thing. There is a project. People did entire map of UK in Minecraft. They used OpenStreetMap and transformed it to Minecraft, and you can download it. It's around 2 gigabytes. You can download it, start in Minecraft, and you can walk in England. Okay, it's scaled to a smaller size, but there is a map of England, UK, in Minecraft format. And I think it's... Yeah. I have just 1 second. This one. OSM. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, loading. Okay. This is a half-a-minute video of what can be done with few workshops. This is the city of Karlovac in Croatia, and it's low contrast, sorry. In a few workshops, you get, we managed a few workshops in Karlovac. In one day, half a city was mapped, and people continued to map daily. And for that region, we still don't have satellite imagery. There is a map box imagery, but it's black and white and low resolution. But this was all done with people, GPS devices, field papers, and local knowledge. So no satellite imagery, only GPS and paper. I forgot to say, you can collect data for OpenStreetMap with anything you want. Camera, GPS, phone, paper, anything. So it's unlike Google, which is all in one only one package. There is OpenStreetMap is evolving community and evolving project. There is also, I forgot to say, open source routing machine that uses OpenStreetMap data. Did anyone try to connect Cape of Good Horn in South Africa to Nordkamp? The routing is done under a second. Gibraltar to Vladivostok, routing is done under a second. And when you move the route, it's also instantaneously changes your route. So power of the open source and the open data is expanding and great. Okay, that was the picture. I don't want to bother you anymore because the last time I talked, we were in a smaller room and we started talking and we talked for 3 hours. So I won't do that. This is just a small extract of the information you can get. Also in Croatia we have a server which extracts, currently it's offline because some stuff happened, migration and stuff like that, but it will be up online next week on the new servers on tier 3 data center with gigabit network and stuff like that. We got some servers, yay! Also OpenStreetMap has Tiles CDN, Tiles Content Delivery Network will be part of that process. One of the servers is for CDN network. We are doing daily extracts, we'll be doing again daily extracts for Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia, Serbia, Albania, Montenegro, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, for all the regions, every country independently, all together, for classic OpenStreetMap, for Garmin devices, for OpenStreetMap, for OSM and maps and stuff like that. And we are only limited to those countries and to those products because of the server, which was 2003 desktop, which served the stuff. So we'll do much more now. There is a growing community. There is a community in Serbia. There is a community in Croatia. There is a community in every country you visit. If you want, join them. Help map your own country. Or if you know more about background stuff, help manage servers, help deploy new stuff, and enjoy. Thank you very much. I hope I wasn't boring or repeating myself too much. I know sometimes. 8-bit city. Oh, sorry. It works. And the gods of internet are against us. I saw that, yeah. It's all 8-bit city style. No, there is no Novi Sad. Yeah. Okay. It works. It's fun. If somebody started talking about OpenStreetMap and at all that it could, it would take him a few days, a few weeks. I don't think even the admins and the guys who are in it can tell you all about it because nobody knows everything about it. Thank you very much. If you have questions, come and get me. I'll be around the corner. Thank you.